The brain who wouldn't feel. The brain can stare and stare and stare. And stare and stare and get the blood flowing to know now. I remember when I was having surgery for chordoma, not during. I remember when I was having my consultation for surgery. My neurosurgeons said, because I asked them, am I going to be awake? And he reoriented me and said, no. The brain tumor I had didn't require that kind of procedure. The tumor was in the base of my skull. Other tumors growing in the actual cortex, there's more work involved for reflex and knowing exactly where a surgeon's working to eliminate the tumor. And then they have the person awake and they stimulate parts of the brain so that the surgeon knows where they are in the brain. And I've heard people describe the brain with no pain. Movies, doctor. The only pain has to do with the cutting of the skull and the skin and getting down into the actual brain. And some of what I'm talking about that has to do with my previous videos about superheroes and mental health, and especially the emotions with superheroes and the struggle of the Superman or Wonder Woman and how they feel, has to do with the blood flow. Trying to get the brain to feel like the body. And a helpful pause to recognize the brain don't have to feel. The brain who wanted to feel, the brain who needs to feel, can get the same benefit from healthy practice, better nutritional choices. And not so much physiological maneuvering, trying to really know where a person's at in their brain, if they're on the left side or if they're over on the right side, doing intelligence or smartness. And some of what's happening with emotions and what I'm talking about with feeling. Mental health has made emotions into the solution for feeling, where there is no pain, there's no suffering. The brain doesn't feel the pain like the liver does when a person drinks every single morning, afternoon, night, every The brain doesn't feel like the throat during a cough with confusion. There's not some all of the sudden sharpness. However, there's headaches, concussions, and different trauma. The brain sometimes has to endure or sometimes endures. These examples, though, are a good explanation for why emotions and the feeling with the brain aren't as explanatory as they're made to sound. Trying to feel your way out of a headache with the emotions. Are you sad? Or more honestly, have you been thinking too hard? Sound to me more like blood flow. Sound to me more like the brain needs to heal from being hit and hurt from some sort of violence or accident or abuse. Emotions aren't only for the good or the bad. Positive. Negative. They're comedy. They're conversational pickup lines for two people who are attracted to each other. One person making the other person laugh, or sneaking up on them when they get out of the bathroom, which is creepy. Possibly harmless, though. Having fun in a bar, you know? Being stupid, but laughing and giggling. And then the chemicals with the emotion of fear. Mostly afterwards, like, oh, you know, like, oh. Similar to the superheroes, though, shrinking down these emotions that the brain has to be able to feel the brain. And worse, getting the blood flowing and really concentrating, really focusing, rather than standing up. And having awareness, paying attention after a brief pause. My mom had a brain aneurysm rupture when I was in college, hemorrhaged, bled, and she blacked out. Never has really talked much about the pain, though. Got airlifted, had surgery, and is better now. And her example makes me think about emotions. and not only emotions, but the example of the superhero and the strength looking at the picture. The picture getting strong, or seeing some sort of image of someone's attracted to, or they just get excited, like libido, I think is the description some people use, or sexually aroused. Chemicals. Feeling strong like the superhero, posturing and imitating the gestures and concentrating and focusing on the good. Deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the brain. Except the deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper a person gets, and then tries to identify where they're at, focusing and concentrating and getting the blood flow and getting the emotions neutralized, causes almost a Frankenstein effect. He's alive! And doesn't simply give the person an indication, oh, they're thinking deeply, I'm thinking deeply now. The time's starting to run out, I'm gonna have to stop this video and start a new one. I'm losing my string of thoughts. But my mind, my brain, remember, my body's got energy for now. I've got food in the kitchen. I'm still focused. I'm still concentrated. I can still continue trying to explain the superheroes and the emotions, the blood flow, and the lack of pain in the brain, the lack of feeling, and not get caught up in the happy and the sad and the depressed, loneliness, and more cognizant and aware the needed rest, the needed slower thoughts to get back to what was trying to be figured out, to not get too confused in some project like trying to write a dissertation called psychological cognition. With the remembrance, emotions can benefit thinking more than feeling.